Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with an Attila tournament match cast. This is the Agartha Flash Tournament number 4, round 1 match between Iulius of LDMU playing as Saxons and Drawded playing as the Eastern Romans. So let's go over the compositions. So I'm gonna go over the Eastern Roman one first. So here we have the Palatino Guards General with Fear. Then we see 2 Tagmata Cav with a Clibanari on the right. Then basically the same thing on the left. In terms of infantry though, let's see. We have 2 Metal Loro in the center with 2 of these Funditores. Then on the right we have, looks like 2 Numeroi with a Hetrea Guard, and on the left an interesting composition. So a Numeroi with a Hetrea and an Eastern Armored Legio. So don't see this kind of build too often, and obviously this tournament has, since it's an Agartha tournament, it has some special rules to give it more flavor. But now let's go over the Saxon composition. So we have a Nordic Warlord General with Brace. Then we have, let's see, a Nordic Horse Lord Silver 1 with a Heroic Cav on the left. Then a Nordic Horse Lord Silver 1 with a Heroic Cav on the right. Then we have 2 of these Saxon Lancers in the center. Looks like 2 Axe Warriors on each flank. A bunch of Nordic Warriors in the center, 3 of those apparently. And we have an Elite Nordic Warrior in the back on each flank. And up front, some Nordic Hurlers, looks like 3 of them. Now let's fast forward the game until they're both closer to each other, because it seems like this could actually take a long time. 8 minutes, so they're just gonna probably skirmish for a while. But definitely a skirmish advantage goes to the Saxons, but only slightly. They have 3 hurlers compared to 2 Funditores. So that's something, not really a lot. So here come the hurlers up to probably target the Cav or the Hetrea Guards, we'll see. But yeah, the Hetrea are like the units that are going to be doing the damage here for the Eastern Romans for sure, but we'll see if they can do enough. As you can see, the hurler is actually targeting the Tagmata Cav and doing a lot of damage to the Tagmata Cav already. As you can see, they're falling down to 57, 56 already, and falling even rapidly. Heroic Cav coming in, so this unit of Tagmata Cav is gone, as should be this unit, as it just went in insanely quickly. And now there is Axe support here to come help. The thing is, there is a Clibanari here. Looks like this Cav unit, the Saxon Lancer, must be sent in to defend against that potential aggression. There's an engagement over here. It looks like Horse Lords not doing too badly against Tagmatas, though Tagmatas might actually end up winning in the prolonged fight, not with Axe Warrior support though. Thing is that there is no infantry support yet for East Romans on the left, so their Cav is getting slaughtered here. As you can see, the Tagmata is gone. Here is going to be very similar thing. There is support coming in though here, and this is a flank which could be won by the Eastern Romans, but oh wow, this Horse Lord just got destroyed by a Cav charge apparently. But on this flank, there's no way the Romans can win here because their infantry support is so freaking late to the party here. On the right flank, it wasn't that bad, but looks like they're gonna be able to eventually push through here. They just have more units. But this Axe Warrior with a rear charge could be potentially very dangerous to all these units, as there is still another Axe unit here. Saxon Lancer here going to, looks like it's going to, it should lose eventually to the Clibanari. Here though, as you can see, this was a horrible engagement for the East Romans because they didn't really have infantry support. Not sure what this Heroic Cav tried to do here by charging into these units. It didn't really do too much damage. But now the Saxon Lancer could be huge. If it gets into the Hetrea, it's going to be over. Here on this flank, as you can see, more Cav coming back for the Saxons, and now it looks like they're gonna be able to potentially turn this one around. It's just that this Hetrea is going to be a pain to deal with, as it's doing so much damage right now. Finally, the infantry support coming in for the Eastern Romans, but oh, very nice move here. They're gonna block the charge with the Eastern Armored Legio, and they're actually in Testudo, so they're not gonna take as much damage. They actually didn't really take much damage at all from that charge. So that's very good, and the Hetrea are still almost untouched, so that's a good engagement by the Eastern Romans. The thing is, wow, this Hetrea here just fighting so hard, but now it's going to start dropping in numbers. This Cav unit not gonna hold out for much longer here as the Saxon Lancer comes in to support. Don't know what this Tagmata Cav doing there. I guess it just got back, so it has to be sent in back into the fray. But this Cav charge by the Saxon Lancers should prove to be devastating to all these 3 units here. Right now this Funitoris has a weird attack order, but on the right flank, as you can see, Eastern Rome is clearly losing because there's just so many units here on the field for the Saxons. On the left flank, East Romans again not doing so well either. There's going to be another cav charge into these Hatereas, which should potentially knock them out of the field. But oh, looks like they kind of get stuck on some of their own units here. The Stigmata cav still isn't being used. Menelotoi here in the center doing absolutely nothing. And the Palatina guards unable to support with Brace either. So that's something that's pretty big for that was missing for the Eastern Romans in the fights. Like, they had nothing in the center. I mean, what in the center the Saxons had nearly nothing except their skirmishers. But these two Menelotoi, which are fairly expensive, were doing nothing in the center, defending against absolutely nothing. So they should have been sent to the flanks or something, because there was no way nothing happened there. Now you can, as you can see here, Horse Lords coming out, trying to go for the Tagmatas. Hatereas here still surprisingly alive. They are on headhunt though, so they're gonna kill a couple more units before they rout. This Numerai though, no way it's gonna hold here. And now we see an engagement here. The Palatina guard is going to be able to kill the hurlers, but it's going to take so long. Menelotoi here fighting against hurlers. Obviously, we know the winner. And here, this Horse Lord is going to win, but it should actually charge it immediately because the morale is quite low, actually. So it should just recharge these units, knock them out of the field, and that should be game soon enough. Here, as you can see, more of the units pulling out for the Saxons. And yeah, looks not good at all for Eastern Romans. I mean, their general is in a good state, but so is the Nordic warlord of the Saxons. I mean, as you can see, the Saxons won on both flanks fairly convincingly, especially on the left here. This was the most convincing one, even though there are more units kind of on the left here. And this engagement went better for the Eastern Romans because their support was much quicker to engage in the fight, but still, they didn't really... Yeah, just way too aggressive by the Eastern Romans here, and without the proper infantry support, it didn't really work on the left flank, and it was sent in possibly a little bit too late on the right flank as well. So not the best engagements here by the Eastern Romans, and it looks like they have paid for their mistakes. And here we're gonna see a cav charge, but gets caught by the Menelotoi here, and this unit just routes off the field as like a couple of guys die here. So just a massive attack order looks like, with all these units onto this pike unit and this general. Shouldn't really matter though. Okay, so these Nordic warriors pushing through into the Funditoris here. Menelotoi cannot do anything. There's still more axes on field. We're gonna see a rear cav charge. Not the best formation, but it's still gonna do it quite well in this blob. Just it wasn't really spread out as much, so but yeah, it's still gonna do damage here, as you can see. Wow, the damage is quite huge, and it's against Palatina guards, which are fairly tanky. Look at that armor and health, though they have extremely bad melee stats, as you can see. I mean, look at that melee defense, that crappy charge bonus, no bonus versus infantry. I mean, their melee damage is decent, but their melee attack is just a crappy 14, so they can't really do anything in melee. Palatina guards, that is. The only thing they can do is stand in the fight for some time, but that really is the extent of their power. So Menelotoi is still on the field. I mean, they're rapid advancing, and they're getting some kills now, but it's really not really worth it. And that is game. Let's look at stats. Haterea is definitely doing work here, as you would expect, but for the Saxons, they just had more infantry units and better in general. The only units that were decent for these Romans were these two Haterea guards, and I don't think two Haterea guards are enough to deal with all these Saxon units. Just look at the Axe Warriors and such. Much better performance for the cost. But anyway, that is the game, so hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I'll see you next time.